Hi class, this is your video feedback for your Real Deal Taco. I know that you have a revision coming up, and with Hall of Fame and everything like that, the grading on this was pushed, so I hope that you can glean some sort of information to help you with your revision from this. Okay, so I'm just going to look at these as a first-time user. Please look through the whole video. If you want to scrub through quickly, that's fine, but you might pick up little things that will help you that someone else did or didn't do. So I'm just going to go through real quick. So far this looks good. We've got a different size menu here. These are the kind of things you want to double check. Make sure that your spacing here is equal, and make sure that your font is the same size. Okay, ideally we'll only have 2 fonts. This looks really good though otherwise, and the logo looks great. It's a good size, very clear, super important. Okay, I think we've changed fonts. Maybe, let me check. No, I think it's the same. So that's good. We want to make sure that we are consistent with that. Let's bring any single word up. Otherwise, this is really looking good. Very clear. We need a little space under here. Try to be consistent with that. And yeah. Okay. Nice. And these can go link to your Real Deal Taco. There is a site for that, made for this very thing. Good. Spacing is a little funky here. Might want to bring that kerning in just a little. And left align and break this up into at least 2 paragraphs. Same things going on here. Left align might work better. Left align for this would probably work better, and break that up into 2 paragraphs. Again, let's left align that, pull in this a little bit so you're not having to stretch it here. Just left align it. This left align. It's not too bad. You could do another, but not too bad. Probably want to. It's fine. It's good. Same thing here, break a little bit up. Let's see, and you've got the about us. Okay, this needs to be cut down. That's probably going to be the case for everybody. It was written so that you would have practice editing, so you're going to pull out the most important parts and have it end where your picture ends. In this case, that's not too deep. So we have a follow us. Do we have a way to contact, like, you know, send a form, because that would be really great. And so also we need a locations page. All right. Okay. All right. Very good. Terrific start. All right, again, logo's nice and clean. I like that. The image, this first image almost looks upside down. I'm sure it's not, but it kind of feels that way. And being out of focus here, going left to right, I would try and replace that with something that is in focus here, because it's your, first image there and so large. These work fine. Again, you can hook this up to link it up to the Facebook for Real Deal Taco. Okay, this you'll want to replace because we already have it up here, so we don't need to be redundant. This is a right amount. Probably break it up into 2 paragraphs. And this is nice and clean. I like that. Whoops, bring that over. You guys, if you have trouble, if you notice, some days are duplicated. So I think it's Monday and Wednesday are the same place, so you could always, put Monday, Wednesday and have one if you need to do that. A little problem here. So you want to fix that. Make sure your fonts stay the same. Okay. All right. And your images, you want to align them, okay, and have the same amount of spacing between them. So whether it's a crop or enlarging, whatever you're going to do, of course, be careful with resolution if you enlarge, but you want these to be the same width, okay? That's with anything. Okay. There are your ads. Very good. In the future, leave a little more space. All right. I want to make sure that, okay. And your contact us. All right. Very nice. So you'll make just a couple of changes before you submit. All right. I'll clean up there, but yeah, it looks like maybe you might want to look at your file and see which one has been used here. Make sure that you have a transparent background for this. Okay, nice. Could probably take an airbrush around this and smooth that out. I'm not saying you have to do it for this one, but you probably would, and then you would probably put just a very slight, very faint, medium-sized airbrush for a drop shadow behind it, you know, like underneath it, not heavy, so light. Okay, nice, good amount there. Okay, here's a new font we're using. We've got one here, one here, one here, here. So we want to be careful because you have so much space. It's not really drawing attention to itself, but it could. All right. Okay. We don't want things to run off the page unless they're meant to, and I'm not sure this is completely meant to because it doesn't kind of do it everywhere. But it's not really, it's not an issue. Although when I did see it, I kind of wanted a little borderline, hairline border, maybe 2 border lines. Just something to think about. Let's see. Okay. Nice. And you'll want to go through and make sure that, again, hook that up, link it up. You want to make sure that, Zaria, that your all your text is proofread before you put it up. I don't go through, sometimes I catch things, but it's really not the thing that I go through and check unless it really jumps out at me. Okay. Okay, you've done a bit of work here. You've got a few pages. Let's try not to have one line by itself. Okay. Is this a different font here? Okay. That's blocked out nicely. Okay. We do need the logo on every page. I would probably, you know, I don't know if what your skill set is, but I would probably do a transparent logo here. It could hang off possibly if it were stamped light, or it could go up. Oh, that's kind of changing the logo, but or here. But it needs to be on every page in the same place is the best thing. You know, sometimes it's right up here. you wouldn't have to say hour. You could place it there. But this is a little big and cut off. So we get into this, you want to break that down to just 2 or 3 paragraphs. And you have this. I feel like we're getting another font here and kind of another color. So I'd like you to pick up one of these other colors for your contact for sure. But it's just right. It's in the right place. We don't have to scroll too much. I love that part. All right. Okay. I think for this site, even though we've got this rectangle style going on, I think I would just want to see the logo if you can, if it works. You could also put it over here. But I do love this background. I think it's great. And nice photos. You guys be careful about dinnerware because it is a food truck. So there's not going to be glassware or anything. All right, I like the way that is picked up. The font might be a little hard to read, a little lightweight if you are on mobile. Just to keep that in mind if you ever do that for somebody. You are not required to look at the mobile version for this class, but if you were to make something. Okay, a little hard to read. This is, you know, all caps and really tight. So that's something you want to think about, whether it's this font. It's not legible enough in this situation, all right? And you might cut this down just a little more, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. I like the image you chose. Whoops, didn't mean to leave the whole site. Okay. Really light. And really, the kerning is just too tight on this. Okay, we need a little space between the letters. Okay, just tight. But otherwise, it's looking really good, really clean. It's got a style to it. I like it. Okay, you might bold these a little. Not sure you need the colons. But, and this isn't bad, but, you know, if you can, it's a last, you know, final thing. It's not something that you have to do necessarily, but if you want to touch it up, you can make that the same size. It's really not bothersome at all. Okay, and again, the only thing is this is really tough to read. All right, really tough. So that change will have to happen. All right, but otherwise, this is looking really good. The style is great. All right. Okay. We've got italics, not italics, so we may want to clear that of the image. This image is looking a little bit forced on this video. You might want to reconsider this. It may even look better without this particular image. Definitely a smaller image, I think. But this is working great, easy to read. Yeah, I think the testimonials are just taking up a little too much space, and we're jumping around in that. Also, this is covering it up, so that's a problem. We're going to have to make this stick at the top, all right? Make it fixed. Okay. This pink is, and these definitely are kind of coming off brand, all right? I think maybe the green should be picked up here, a blue-green, if that's what you're going to do. The font's a little small. I think it could come up just a little But otherwise, and this is a different font altogether, you might not need that there. In fact, you don't. Okay. But otherwise, it's looking good. This, I don't think you need at all. This coloring, you know, it isn't working with your brand. You could use this, or, and these are adorable. I'm not sure it's working with the pink because we really don't get into that pink till the bottom. So Alonzo, I would pick up sort of these colors, all right? Otherwise, take that off. Otherwise, it's looking pretty good. This you want to cut down for sure and break it up into paragraphs and left align. So I'm wondering where I thought I saw the location, but I'm not seeing the location. Okay, so let's get the location in there as well. And these are a little oversized. All right, good job. Great start. Okay. This is an interesting color to use. This image, just not real sure about that. It doesn't give the food truck fish taco vibe yet. Okay, and we're rolling over this, so that can just stay at the top. I would move my menu up here for sure and make it fixed. I don't mind that this is two parts, but I would make this the same. I wouldn't have it curved, I would have it straight. Okay, ordinarily I would say that we need hierarchy where this should be a little bigger than this, but it's not bothering me too much, but keep the spacing the same. So go through all of that. Images seem to be working. Try not to have one word. You can cut this down if you need to. You guys can edit this. You wouldn't be able to do that for a client necessarily without getting an approval, but you know, for this you can edit to make it fit a little bit. Okay, so here's the question now. Where's my menu? I go back to my home page. I need to have these fixed. I don't like the pill shaped here. I would just stick with this. Have this and there and around that. Okay. Nice thought. Disable it if you're not using it. Too many clicks, right? We're having to, so you need the events in there. You need your locations up a little higher. Okay, so let's get into those right away. Even the map, it would be better here and the map underneath because really this is the most important information. All right, great start. Let's see, where are we? Okay. I think I might ask you to buy a little more of this space by moving some things up and putting that up here or something. I'm not sure yet. Let me see what happens. Okay. Try not to have this word by itself. You could probably take corn out and pull that up, or blue corn chips, take this out and pull it up. Same here. Not sure about, and same here. Not sure about the centered text, all right? I think left align might work better. because you kind of go out like this, and that's something we want to avoid, where it lines up like that. Doesn't happen very often, it kind of does it accidentally, but that's something we try to avoid in graphic design. And the sides get really big. Let's close up some space a little bit. Okay. All right. But you did get everything in here. This is way too light. It looks, okay, this is super light. Needs to be much heavier to read. All right. I know it's something we should be able to click on and go to the full story and try not to have a single line. Make sure that doesn't happen. But this is way too light. Okay, cut down just a little more, about this much. You're going to go through, make sure that it makes sense what you cut out. You know, I don't usually like drop downs because they so frequently cover up something, but it doesn't happen in this case, so I'm okay with it for this. Don't like that. I don't like that empty thing. I know we scroll over, it's got a little action going on, but I like to get straight into it. Okay. All right, so you'll want to put the finish out your locations, and okay, I see. Here are your locations, so that's fine. Misspell university here, but it's not the right place. So this should be your locations. All right. Otherwise, you have a really solid start. All right. Okay, we need to have 2 paragraphs here. Break that up. Okay. Let's put a little space here or bring this out a little bit. We're kind of jumping into a different width, and we need a lot more space here. Probably a sans serif instead of a serif font. Got the map there. Okay, there's an image or a video on this that is making it slow to load, or you have a container here that you need to get rid of and bring that up. Okay, I would try and make this blue match. Probably a sans serif here as well, something like that. Yeah, so a little more fleshing out of the location. Break that up. Yeah, this in and out, this full width to then a narrow canvas, I'm not sure that that's working for you. Okay. Yeah, so just a little bit of streamlining, and your locations. You'll want a link to your menu as well. This is all caps, this is not. So those are things you want to look at too. So just go over it closely. I would take these quotations out. That'll give you a cleaner look too. make this font just a little bigger. All right, great start. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is working, however, I mean, it's working because these backgrounds match up, but when we have an oval here and an oval here, our eye tries to match them, so you might want to trade one of these pictures out so it doesn't tempt us in that way. These are a little hard to see. Menu's definitely hard to see. You just want one instead of the tiled background. If you were going to use a tiled background with a logo, I'm not asking you to do it for this one, then it might be like a watermark, super low opacity, and only if you need it, and only if it works with the design. These are really close. There needs to be space, but I like the color actually, but you just need one. Okay, one, and then get into your content. Have either a vertical or horizontal menu so we can actually see these a little better. Okay, so I'm not sure if there's a video or an image that is taking a while to load, but that you'll want to definitely look at because there doesn't seem to be anything there. Okay. And the same here. So really there's a lot of work to be done here. Yeah. Make sure you allow several hours for this. All right, so this one did not work, did not come up. I'll have to see which one that was. This looks nice, different. Interesting. I haven't seen it like this. I have seen this background a lot, and I have to warn you, it's familiar to people, but this is not, per se. Do you want it to go to red? I don't know. This is needs to be reflowed correctly and probably cut down a little bit. I wouldn't make that serif like your live GPS locator. Okay. Change your date down here, put your name. Okay. There's something very interesting about this. There's no pictures of tacos. Yeah, you're gonna need some images of food. And how do I get back? Okay, so you'll need to have some navigation on every page available to me, the same one on every page, because I have to click the back button. Okay. I'm not sure that goes to anything. This is going to go down here. This will need to have the anchor change so that when it clicks on contact, it goes right here. And probably I would take some of that out and bring this up when you cut that. See how that goes. All right, it's got some interesting things to it. Needs a menu, navigation menu. All right. All right, everybody. Good luck. I see some really great ideas here, and you'll want to go in and make some of those changes, finish out what you started, and I think that many of you are going to like what you've done and have a strong portfolio piece. All right. Good work.